Hi guys, it is Jenny, one of the coaches here at G2G Coaching. So what is fibre? Fibre is a complex carb that we don't digest very well. You don't digest it in your stomach and you don't really digest it in your small intestine either. Most of its use is in the large intestine. The large intestine has bacteria and the cells in the large intestine use the fibre to fuel and give the cell the energy, and the bacteria almost use the fibre as food to keep them basically alive. High fibre foods include things like beans, nuts, seeds. Lots of fruit and vegetables are really high in fibre. Whole foods, grains, anything like that. So where can you get a good source of fibre from? From things like beans, fruits, vegetables, nuts, seeds, anything like that. A lot of whole foods. For example, your bran, your wheats and grains, things like that have a good source of fibre. So why do we have fibre? Why do we need fibre? Because it supports heart health, it lowers the cholesterol, and so it means that if you have a sufficient amount of fibre in your diet, you're less likely to suffer heart strokes, heart disease, any kind of strokes really, lots of different diseases, diabetes. So having a good source of fibre is really good. It's important for gut health all over. It's also really helpful to regulate the blood sugar. So I mentioned just there that diabetes, it reduces the risk of getting diabetes. And this is because it almost slows down the absorption of blood into your sugar. The absorption of sugar into your blood. Another good thing about fibre is that it's usually found in foods that are quite voluminous and nutrient dense. Now what this means is that there's lots of nutrients in these foods. The good thing about it is, for example, with fruit and vegetables, you can eat lots of volume of this food without having lots of calories. Usually you'll find that these keep you fuller for longer. You can eat more of them. Fibre is obviously really hard to digest, so you feel fuller for longer. So this can aid things like weight loss as well. So we have the three different kinds of fibre. We've got soluble, insoluble, and then something called resistant starch. The soluble is broken down in the large intestine, and it is broken down into this kind of gel-like substance. And this is what the bacteria use for food, and it provides energy for the cells in the large intestine to basically do their job. So where can you find soluble fibre? Things like apples, citrus, fruits, peas, oats are all good sources of soluble fibre. Okay, so then you have insoluble fibre. Now insoluble fibre, as it says, it doesn't break down into anything. It says it's indigestible, you cannot digest it. You find it in things like the potatoes, tomatoes, bran, wheat, things like that. And yeah, your body doesn't use it, but it basically gives your stools some sort of substance and makes it easier to pass through your bowel. So resistant starches are classed as fibres, as they are also, you can't break them down, the body can't break them down in any way, but they are good for the bacteria in the colon, and they are overall good for just general gut health. You can find these fibres in things like potatoes if you've cooked them and then let them cool down, green bananas, raw oats, things like that. It's where you find the most resistant starch. So overall you can see that fibre is quite an important part of our diet, and it's usually something that's fairly overlooked. You hear a lot about in the fitness industry, in general nutrition, about carbs, fats, proteins and vegetables, things like that, but you don't hear an awful lot about fibres, but they are so important, and they're really, really good to help you feel full, to give you good gut health, to regulate general health in your body. It's something that people should talk more about. That is me. I hope you have enjoyed the content on fibre today, and please like, follow and subscribe to any of our channels, and I'll see you next time.